You already know the vibes. Hold on. I mean, cleaning up around the trail today. I stopped because it's cold as shit. That wind blowing like, whoo. I'm like, yo, that shit crazy, yo. It's cold as hell out there. But yeah, I had to separate shit. It got me out there picking up bottles, plastics, cans, and papers. There's no job too low. I ain't gonna keep doing this shit. I swear to God, I can't. I need that lick, so I got plans, yo. I got things I want to do. And me being funny right now just lead me to the conversation that I wanted to have with y'all, right? I'm burning some mullein. Mullein burns a lot better in a cigar. My homeboy be like, yo, you shouldn't smoke it in a cigar because it's tobacco. It's like, I don't care. I really don't care at the end of the day. If I like it, I love it. You know what I'm saying? Like, it is what it is. That meant nothing to the conversation, you know what I'm saying? But I keep the mullein hanging up. I like getting the inside pieces. See those light green pieces on the inside? I like getting those. You snap them and shit. They be kind of like lime or something. It's cool as shit. I found a field of these growing in a public area, and I was like, you gonna let mullein just sit there? Ain't gonna get it. I get it. I get it. Let me find out. That's how they used to make that lamb spread back in the day. That's what it felt like. Anyway, come on, go on there. All right, stay there. Anyway, I ain't gonna say talk to y'all about a bunch of bullshit. Let's get to the topic real quick. Now I'm dropping pieces of mullein everywhere on my plate. All right. So yeah. Oh yeah, green tea and mullein is good too. You can make you some green tea with some mullein in it. You know what I'm saying? Mullein is good for your lungs, yo. Don't sleep on mullein, yo. It's good for your lungs. All right, so you know, wasted energy and wasted time, right? My grandfather used to say this shit back in the day. I used to hear some older heads say this shit too sometimes. They'd be like, y'all put all that energy into doing that bullshit. You could have been doing something constructive. Don't let that go over your head. Because even if you watch Gotham, right, and you get to the end when the Penguin and the Riddler, they get a chance to come back, and they thinking that, you know what, after everything we did, now we gonna take over Gotham again. Now Bruce Wayne is Batman, and nobody don't know it yet, but he kicking everybody ass early, like he out there throwing darts and shit. Like they're like, who is this guy that's in the dark, right? So then here go Ed Nigma and Penguin. They're like, come on, we're gonna form a plan, and we're gonna take Gotham back over. Batman had them hanging up from a light pole. And they was like, no. It was funny, right? My point is to say, out of everything that you did, the only thing you can do is try to do the same thing over again, where you could have took all that knowledge and did something different. Now, Barbara King, the one who was a part of the crime scene too, she became a multi-millionaire, had her corporate building and all that, bigger than one of the Wayne buildings. Like, she like, yeah, we getting that money on some legal shit now. So she took her skills and she grew. You know what I mean? And I thought that was powerful. And just to understand the verses of the value of how people the verses of how people value one intermediate action, and they stay stuck on that value and can't change no more other than that. And all the energy that you're using to put in these negative actions, they could have been used to fortify something great for yourself, or even putting a little bit of study into you. And it's like, I don't like myself enough to pay attention to me, but you'd rather put all this energy into paying attention to some other people. Some powerful shit, right? Like, just think about that. Like, having a conversation with individuals or watching what people do, and you be like, damn, they still on that same shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, why you want to put all that energy into them? It's just crazy, right? You put all that energy into the wrong things. You know what I'm saying? When you could have been putting that energy into something that you really, really love, right? Man, oh man. Wait till I get the opportunity. That's all I need. I just need the opportunity to get back to where I'm in motion for myself. Fuck everything else, yo. Like, I'm gonna show improve, yo, because I got some shit going on in my noodle. And I'm like, yo, you know what? When I get comfortable, when I get to the state of spot to where I can just sit and chill, because I create too much, yo. I've already created ideas that still don't exist to this day. Like, I created some shit online that still don't exist to this day. And I'm like, yo, I ain't see nobody doing it yet. I'm like, yo, how y'all miss that? That's like one of the easiest things anybody can do right now. But it's all good. I sit down and I wonder. I say, yo, the minds of people really don't expand too far. And you could tell when they're expanding. Like, I remember it used to give me headaches to expand my brain. That's how you know you really doing it, because you really have to push your limits. And you don't know what pushing your limits is. People think working their body is pushing their limits. Your mind has a threshold. Your mind has a threshold that keeps you in a converted infinity loop. That converted infinity loop is wrapped around the value of what you believe you know. Right? So you have to start really looking at yourself, the words you say normally, the actions you do normally, the people you frequent normally, the foods you eat normally, the motions you do normally. See, self-study is a high attributed class. And people don't sit down and look at themselves enough to understand most of the time where the hell I'm coming from. You know what I'm saying? This is why I know I'm gonna always get ridiculed, because you don't look at yourself enough to actually have a conversation with me. You know what I'm saying? I do. I look at myself all the time. This is the perspective where I'm coming from. I'm coming from self understanding, self knowledge, self awareness. You know what I'm saying? I've been saying that since the 1,300 videos that I got since I started. It's about self awareness. So understanding this pretense and what it has to offer, then you'll understand how you're supposed to move, indicative to the value of how you're going to be cohesive with everybody else in society. This is what strengthens you as an individual, because everybody else is stuck in an infinity loop. They can't get off that normality. So it'll give you a headache to actually push past your normality, because you got to jump out of that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can be doing one thing this day and literally change my whole loop. That's because I exist on so many different levels of a loop. And most of those levels are mine. They're all mine. And then when I got to the highest understanding of self, I can actually jump out of my self-consciousness and go to higher consciousness. This is accessing divine tiers. It's because you start to master the 7 rings of self. And then you can go into completion with the 9 rings of self. That means you don't even have to stay within self-consciousness. You can go into divine consciousness, literally. You know what I'm saying? These are aura rings. You see what I'm saying? I can have conversations with people that y'all don't subsequent the thought frequency that I do. And this is not an attack to say who's better or who's worse or nothing like that. I put this time into myself. This is what I always been teaching. If you go to the first video, you can see I wasn't even thinking on this type of level. You can hear me putting that shit together. You can hear me saying conversations about human elemental factors and shit like that. People don't even talk about that. And that's old shit that I did. Soon it's gonna come into fruition. Soon you hear people speaking about human elemental factors and what that mean by when you mix with other people, what type of elements are being created out of your actions and shit like that. Like, that shit is residual energy that literally exists. And people don't even think on that energy. But these fractions that come out of creating these elemental factors is what start to exist in their own bodies. And then you start to be pushed and pulled by these want factors. These are things that were attached to you that want to live. Your characteristics that want to live through other circumstances. This is why it's imperative for you to know yourself through everything you go through. But you got other things that are great about you too. You know what I'm saying? So it get real deep. But I'm cool like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm cool like that. Once I understand something, I just put it in my Akashic, in my literal library. And I be like, yeah, sit there, because I can always go back and read through any one of these chapters, because I know my rings. I know the rings of self. I'm not out of myself not to understand not to understand the capabilities of me. You know what I'm saying? Like, I know each level of myself. I've started mastering these levels of self. Once you master the 7 levels of self and then master the 9th level of self, you see what I'm saying? You don't have to come back into self to think. That shit just, I know that probably went over a lot of people's head, but I ain't gonna even do that. Cause sometimes I stay coming down. There's a lot of knowledge in my rings. You know what I'm saying? I stay coming down, but sometimes I leave Earth when I start thinking. I just leave. I'm gone. I go straight through the black holes, yo. Like I be flying on. I be like, and that's when I'm here. I'm literally talking to you, and I done left. I done start dropping knowledge. You be like, the fuck is he talking about? Real time. You know what I'm saying? So look, I ain't gonna even hold you. But y'all gotta believe in yourself more than all this attacking shit y'all got going on in the world, man. Like, that ain't it. You know what I'm saying? And subsequent in the same value of whatever particular knowledge that you think you know, that ain't it neither. And repeating what other people say that they think they know, those are only perceptions. They don't, that's not even full understanding. Like, the full understanding is how this emergency merges to you in your universe of yourself. How does that even happen with you? You know what I'm saying? What does that look like for you? And how are you using it? What is your elemental value first and foremost? You know what I'm saying? I can ask a bunch of questions, you know what I'm saying? But I don't. Because I sit down and I think about it. I say, well, they'll get to it, or divine gonna show them. You know what I'm saying? Like, but if they come to me, then that means divine want me to show them. That's how I look at it. Like, if you come to me, then that means divine said, well, I need you to teach them in the perspective of which I showed you. So then, I start learning to find ways not to be so involved. That's what I started looking at. Like, yo, why you want to build? I really don't. So why? Yeah, I'm not. And then divine be like, nah, kick it with them, kick it with them. So that's why I tell people, you can hit me up. You know what I'm saying? We can build, and I can give you something special. You know what I mean? Because that's what divine allowed me to do. You know what I'm saying? So I ain't gonna hold you. It is what it's gonna be. You know what I mean? But we gotta be attracting the energy that we are. And I'm sincere. You know what I'm saying? Like, I ain't got time to be playing no games. But most people want to get shit so microwaved or fast food style, you know what I'm saying? Or, paper plate weight, you know what I mean? You don't want to put the time into actually cooking that up. You know what I'm saying? Like, so take your time with yourself and get the best version of you out. I want to have conversations, you know what I'm saying? So don't be afraid to reach out, but don't come at me with no bullshit, because I can tell if you got some bullshit with you. Like, off the way you write your comment, I'ma know. Like, I ain't talking to them. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, it'll be just me. Like, my shit pick up from ethers away. Like, you could be talking about me on a whole nother planet. I'd be like, shut up. Let me talking about me. You don't know me. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's who I am. So that's what divine got my shit really, really far out, really stretched out. Like, you know what I'm saying? So it's cool. My head hitting the ceiling. I ain't got no room in here, yo. Like, Yukon futon. In the Yukon futon. But yeah, I'm just saying, yo. Cause it ain't about nothing to prove for me. It's my intentions are real to the value of doing the work that the divine want us to do, right? So if I connect with you, I'm gonna really get deep into you. I'm gonna get deep into the value, you know what I'm saying? Like, I'm gonna connect to you. That's what it's supposed to be. So reach out, let's build, unless you afraid. Cause I might ask you some shit, like you might say something funny, and I'll be like, "Yo, you talk to everybody like that?" You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, see, that's your problem. Like, I'll be one of those dudes, but I'll joke with you first, you know what I'm saying, to break the ice. Like, but come holler at me, I'll drop something in the cash app, you know what I'm saying, and we can get these consultations going a little more frequent. You know what I'm saying? Cause I got so many downloads, and I just can't dump this shit on YouTube, yo. I can't just like, yo, check this out. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can't dump it on YouTube. It's a lot. You know what I mean? So, but hopefully one day I'm gonna get somebody who can write all this stuff that I be saying down. If I ever get that person, we can really write it all. What, the story gonna be crazy. I'm gonna take y'all back from the start. Cause I want to. I actually wanted to do like a whole chapter on this shit with like the lighting and the right cameras and the room at a table with like the Alfred Hitchcock type look with like the dark face and light on the corner. And I'm telling y'all the story from like day one. I remember all the way back from me being 2 years old. And I was gonna tell it all, yo. Every single thing. Everything, yo. Everything. Every, everything, yo. Everything. They were like, yo, get that nigga off the air. They were like, get that nigga off the air. I told it all, everything. I told the whole story, yo. I'd be like, yo, that's fucked up. Like, get him off the air right now. Nah, yo. Nah, son. I'm on the air. Nah, I think I'm gonna write a book, though. Like, all my fears, shit I thought, shit that wasn't true, shit that was true, all that shit. Like, one day I'm gonna get a chance to do that. I don't know when, but one day. It's cloudy as fucking here. I just got finished cooking, yo. I need to open the doors. All right, let me get off this joint, y'all. I've been talking to y'all for long enough. He's 16 minutes in or whatever. You already know the vibes, man. It's NAGA right here, yo. If you rock with the streams and all that, support. Show your love, leave a comment, like, share, and all that. You know what I'm saying? Don't forget, go back through the build if you need to hear it again, because I said some things in this understanding. You know what I mean? So you already know the vibes, man. It's NAGA right here. Whole love.